What a week that was. Sometimes it feels, doesn't it, as if this small nation is hurtling from one bad event to the other, to new depths of depravity or cruelty or just plain wickedness, without having the chance for us to look back at the consequences of those other significant mileposts we just passed. What a week. Even if we don't dwell on the crime that involved another quadruple murder in Clarendon, the murder of the vice principal at GC Foster College, the continued search for the child of MP Philip Paulwell and the child's mother. A month later, the escape and recapture of an alleged rapist and child murderer, the rape of a schoolgirl by 4 of her schoolmates, the sickening of some 60 school children who consumed ganja-laced sweets, and on and on. It's a lot, reminding us of the slippage of Jamaica, land we love. Then there were all of those violent videos showing rage and anger and confrontations over what should have been simple matters to be settled. Thank you for joining us for this, the 92nd episode of the Frankly Speaking Jamaica Podcast. We encourage you to subscribe and to share this podcast with your friends and colleagues and family. Desmond Richards takes on crime and crab circle. Winnie Anderson Brown applauds two councillors. But first, here's my commentary, frankly speaking. I'd been planning, frankly speaking, to come back to urge solutions and to encourage the small efforts that are being made to help to prevent and reduce in the Jamaican society the reflex response to violence in dealing with family and other disputes. For the violent settling of disputes among people who know each other, including among family members, is plainly increasing, figuring, the police say, in the crime statistics and making this a less desirable place to live. And then, as if to remind us of that and the sinking of Jamaica, an uglier side of us came up. Crab circle, or whatever they are calling it now. The reactions to the turning of a food stall into a toilet dramatically shows some of the deficiencies in the country. We can't even agree that this was bad or public behavior that should be condemned. Frankly speaking, this should not happen. It put a public health disaster fingertip away. We are unwilling to say that we should have at the minimum, as the regulations say anyway, running water and sanitary facilities at this and other food establishments, more so at one as large as this. We must not let it escape that the health department has many questions to answer. They should tell us why the public health inspectors have not been making regular checks at that and other establishments. Not only in the KSAMC, they are required under the regulations to certify that the minimum conditions for a food establishment were provided, including at each shop, to wash basins with running water, food handlers permit, and sanitary facilities. There are many questions for the Public Health Department and the KSAMC. Frankly speaking, the very fact that it will take weeks, as the KSAMC is saying, to get the place to operate in a sanitary fashion or be reopened shows you how far down into the gutter it had gone, and that the poop, as awful as it was not the only issue. And frankly speaking, what about other popular spots or not so popular spots where we can see and know there is no running water, no bathroom facilities for the cooks, the vendors, and customers? And if the KSMC can take over the sidewalk there and refurbish it with private business money. Can anyone with a pot and fire not take over the sidewalks and even the bus stops, as they are doing everywhere, without checks from the health department and the municipal authorities? I continue to believe that the failure of the municipal corporations to provide usable working center conveniences in the main towns across this country and to see to it that they are available at food sites, illegal or not, is a part of the expanding failure of local government. Crab Circle, right across from the rest home of our heroes, is, frankly speaking, to use a cliche, just the tip of the iceberg. A situation forced upon us in a way we couldn't pretend wasn't happening. Crab Circle and the rest of these situations of the failure of authority, so often mentioned in these podcasts, are a part of the same piece, greasing the slope on which the country slides into disorder, lawlessness, chaka chaka, and lowered quality of life, in which brutishness, crassness, crime, maladaptive behavior of our young ones find comfort. Here now is Desmond Richards.
Yes, the bloodletting continues. On Friday, the police detained 4 persons in connection with the disappearance of Member of Parliament Philip Palwell's daughter and her mother. And the police were led to two bodies in Warwicker Hills, and they believe those are the bodies of the child and her mother. Warwicker Hills is in Palwell's constituency. Now, what a tragedy. And one of the persons detained, now this is interesting, is also one of Palwell's baby mother. She's a member of the US Navy. Now, this is a very complicated issue. Also on Friday, the vice principal of the GC Foster College was murdered in Portmore. And right around the country, we had the murders and the shootings and the robberies. Now, we are over 1,000 murders already. The strategies being used, they are not working. And as we speak, people are crying. People are mourning the loss of their loved ones. The security forces are stretched. And yes, there has been a 12% decline, but the bloodletting around the country is intolerable. Now, one of the things that let me say the strategies that are being used by the government, they are not bearing results. No, they are not. And it is clear that the Jamaican government has failed in one of its primary duty, and that is to provide security for the citizens. We are failing in some of the critical areas. As we speak, there was another incident. And this is not on the crime scene, but on the health scene, where a popular public restaurant at Heroes Circle was closed because one of the vendors there was seen on video. Now, very unsanitary state. Now, we are in crisis. Health facilities, public health facilities are failing. The murders are increasing. And educational facilities, they are down. We are facing a crisis, and we must take action to rid ourselves of this crisis.
That's Desmond Richards, journalist and founder of internet radio, Rebel Radio Jamaica. And now, Winnie Anderson Brown.
I love great news, don't you? Today, I am happy to commend Councillors Radcliffe MacDonald and Romaine Morris. Now, Romaine Morris is the councillor for the Mucko Division, and Radcliffe MacDonald is the councillor for the Tollgate Division. Why this is important? The road from Osborne Store to Ashley is one road, but the political divide makes it impossible for one person to pay attention to all of the road that we use. So unless the councillors come together and support each other, it's the people who are caught in the middle, because we have to use the same road to get to the main, to get about our business anyway. So Councillor MacDonald could have said, the piece of road is in my division, but the meeting is not in my division, so I don't need to attend. He did not say that. He attended 3 meetings. Councillor Morris could say, the meeting is in my division, but the road is not in my division, so I don't need to go. So I commend these 2 councillors for coming together for the good of the people. And that is what politics should be about. To come together to serve all of us. So what has been done? The condition of the road has been improved temporarily. The road needs major fixing, especially as far as drainage is concerned. The estimate has been done as promised. Councillor MacDonald had told us about the estimate and that he has handed in the estimate, and we're expecting that the road will be fixed soon enough. We know that it is not going to happen next week, but we're happy for what has been done temporarily, and also for the 2 councillors to come together for the good of the people. So please help me commend these 2 men, Councillor Romaine Morris and Councillor Radcliffe MacDonald. And I give Councillor Radcliffe MacDonald extra points, bonus points, for the number of meetings he attended.
That's Winnie Anderson Brown, educator and health facilitator. That's the 92nd episode of the Frankly Speaking Jamaica Podcast. Please remember to subscribe. On behalf of Winnie Anderson Brown and Desmond Richards, I'm Frankly McKay. Until then.